Hey, what's up, everybody in Free Me Podcast land? I just want to say quickly before we get into this episode, please like, subscribe, share the message, man. I can't grow if y'all don't help me grow. I can only get big on the shoulders of giants. So it's all up to you, man. If you like the message and you think that there's people out there that need to hear this message, get it out, please. You can visit me on Facebook under Thomas Free Me. You can visit my page, Free Me Podcast. You can do all of these things, man, but it's up to you to do it. If you have any suggestions, please, you can go to the message box. You can leave me a message, voicemail. And if there's anybody on the show that you want to donate to, you can find the link to do so at the GoFundMe. Again, Free Me Podcast. You can find it at my website, www.cominghomecoalition.com. You can find it on my Instagram. Man, you can find it. If you want to do it, you can find it. That's all I'm telling you to do. So, peace and love. I love you guys for tuning in and listening and supporting me. Thank you very much. I'm doing this for you guys, trying to help everybody improve their lives so my life can be improved and the fuckery will stop and people quit fucking my ears off. Peace. I'm out. Enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. What's going on, man? Welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another episode. I really appreciate the love that y'all show me, man. So, today's episode, again, is about things that I show a lot of passion for. I show a lot of passion for it because it's disrupted my life in such an egregious way. By the way, I'm outside, so if you guys hear some background noise or whatever, there's maybe some just construction going on, over yonder. And it's a beautiful day outside, man. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's about 68 degrees. One of these days where you can just go play ball all day. Football, basketball, golf, whatever. Your body will just work. You could hit steel all day. Work. Feel good. It's a great day, man. It's a beautiful day. All blessed to thanks to God, So, yeah, man, we make a lot of decisions in our lives through emotions, a wide array of emotions, and a lot of times these decisions lead to tragic events. A lot of times they work themselves out, but sometimes, they just lead to tragic events. And that's what occurred in this gentleman's life here, man. There was so many things going on around. Everybody's emotional, everybody's selfish in their emotions. Nobody's stopping to try to control a situation. And this one didn't work itself out so cleanly. Decisions were made, continue to be made through emotions. And now, because of those decisions, there's a lot of regret, a lot of remorse, a lot of regret, a lot of, I wish I would have done things differently. So I'm going to get into this article here that was published April 4th, 1995 by the Hartford Courant. Dana Tofig. Headline: Springfield man charged with first-degree murder. The stepbrother of a man whose body was found floating in the Connecticut River was charged with murder Monday by Springfield police. Stephen, 21, and I'm going to leave out last names and addresses and all of that, just for respect of a couple people. So Stephen, 21, of Springfield, was charged with first-degree murder in the death of Roberts. He will be arraigned in Springfield court this morning. Robert was killed Thursday. Robert, 25, was killed Thursday evening at his home. It was unclear whether his body was dumped or floated down the river from the Massachusetts. On Saturday, 2 boaters spotted Robert's body floating amid debris in the river behind the Bigelow Commons apartment complex. The man's hands were tied together, said Police Chief Ronald Marcotte, one of those oddies. After the body was discovered, an autopsy was performed by the clinical state chief medical examiner. No cause of death was determined, Police Chief Marcotte said. No information was available late Monday. There are no bullet holes, no knife wounds, no strangulation, no nothing. Police Chief Marcotte. No one called the police to report a missing person, said Police Chief Marcotte. Boy, they're really stroking this police chief guy off, huh? Making sure his name's all through this here. Police were only able to get a couple of fingerprints from Robert's hand because the body had begun to decay, said Police Chief Marcotte. The area in which Robert's body was found is directly behind a 200-foot tower on the edge of the town's North Thompsonville district. The area around the tower has been closed to the public since July 1993, when a 19-year-old idiot fell while climbing the structure. Yes, I ad-libbed idiot. I could have probably ad-libbed a lot more than that, but idiot seemed to be precise. Continuing. However, the fence surrounding the area and the quote-unquote no trespassing signs have been pushed in. A path leads down to the embankment. From there, it's about a 30-foot drop over a cement embankment to where Robert's body was discovered. The shallow water is filled with junk, such as rusted old stove and a bicycle frame and a bed frame, says Police Chief Marcotte. You know, I'm a father of a daughter. I worry about this every minute of every day. I know bad things can happen. I know accidents can happen. And I just pray that if anything tragic was to happen to if anything was to, anything tragic was to happen, that she would be respected and, just cared for. I wish that for every person. It's a tragic, tragic thing for somebody to lose their life. It's tragic in any circumstance, and we have to stop. We have to stop. Pardon me. So, these things upset me. So, part of his body was floating up on the debris, and part of it was still in the water. Police Chief Marcotte says. He was just dropped into this pile of stuff. Bless you, Robert. Neighbors who live on the North River Street, which runs parallel to the water, said they heard nothing Saturday night. Police stopped residents who were traveling down River Road, took their license plate numbers, told them not to worry, neighbors said. They said some people do go back to the area around the tower, but there are rarely any problems. Anyone with information about Robert's death is asked to call the Enfield Police Department and ask for who? You got it. Police Chief Marcotte. So there you have it, man. So we're going to hear from Stephen now. We're going to hear the whole story, what Stephen has to say, what happened that day, the way things went, the decisions that were made, the results of those decisions, the regret behind those decisions now. I wish I would have done something different, And that's usually what we say when we make emotional decisions. And then we have time to think about those emotional decisions and we realize that we could have made a completely different decision, So once again, I do apologize for the sound quality. Stephen does come through crystal clear. Mine, however, does not. Been having a problem with Anchor for whatever reason. It's pissing me off because I got some good quality information that I'm trying to pass to listeners that need to hear this, man, and I have to make sure that these messages are clear. So I do apologize once again. I just sound computerized or whatever the hell is going on with this crap, man. But hopefully soon I can start gaining a little bit of support and circumstances can change for everyone, So without further ado, I'm introducing you to Stephen. Hey, Steve, you with me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, partner. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm cold as hell, partner.
Where are you?
I mean, you're just gonna laugh at me.
Huh?
I said you're just gonna laugh at me when I tell you where I'm at.
Nah, I'm up in Plymouth. It's cold. It snowed this morning.
Yeah, I'm in Florida, man. I'm in Tampa.
And you're cold?
I mean, you see what I'm telling you, man. You laughing, man.
I'd rather be down there right now.
Nah, no, I'm born and raised here in Florida, man. So I'm warm blooded, man.
I hear
you. So, as you know, my name is Thomas. This is Free Me Podcast. It's a podcast designed to just give people a platform to express themselves and, just for us to share with one another. I've had a very tumultuous life and been through a lot of trauma. As I'm learning you have, and that's what we're going to share with today. So just give me a little bit of who you are, how old you are, a little bit of, your childhood and how you came up.
Okay. I'm 47 right now. Just turned 47 in September. Yeah.
Cool. Well, happy birthday, man. I'm 45. I turned 45 in August.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. I don't feel 47. I feel like I'm 90.
What are you talking about?
Oh, make do. Age is just a number, I guess. Yeah, I was born in Connecticut, Norwich, Connecticut. My dad was in the Coast Guard, so we were born down there. Then we moved to Florida for a little while when he was stationed down there, down in Daytona Beach, down that way.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and then when I was like three, I guess he moved up to Springfield, Mass, and that's where I was pretty much raised till I got incarcerated. I lived up there till I was 21. Yeah.
How was life growing up there?
In Springfield?
Yeah.
It was all right back in the day. It was good. It was not that bad. There's things to do. It's not that good now, but back then it was all right. It was plenty of. I mean, I was a kid, but you find things to do as a kid.
What is it like, suburbia type life?
It's a city. It's like the third largest city in the state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got Boston, Worcester, and then Springfield.
Okay, okay.
It's diversified. There's a lot of, you know, whites, blacks, Asians, Spanish. It's all different communities you have up there. So we moved around
Everybody
a
just
lot.
kind of does everybody just kind of get along?
Most times they did, yeah. We grew up down the south end, which was more like an Italian area down there. I don't know why we weren't. Then we moved. We moved around a lot. I don't know why. Just we decided to move a lot. Finally, we settled down up in like I don't know what you would call it, North Springfield, Mason Square area. They call it. That's like kind of the ghetto area, sort of. I don't know. Maybe that's the only place they could afford. But that's
Uh-huh.
yeah. Moved there. I was like 12.
Now, what is your background? Are you Irish or
Um,
you're just
yeah, my mother's side is like Polish and German, and my father's Italian and Scottish. So I'm like a
uh-huh.
yeah, I'm like a mix.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm a mutt.
Yeah, most people think I'm Irish, but I'm like, no, I'm not Irish. I'm Scottish, Scottish Italian.
That's a strong mix though.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. Yeah, my great grandmother, she was straight out of Poland. My mother's mother.
Uh,
And my
that's a tough
father's
woman then.
mother is straight. She was straight out of Sicily. So their whole side of that family is just all Italian. That's all they speak.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah. So did you grow up with like your mother and your father?
no, they got divorced when I was 3, and that's why my dad moved up to Springfield. So I was raised
Uh,
with my dad. Yeah. Until
and then did your dad remarry or?
yeah, he remarried to this some crazy lady that had 3 other kids. But I'm an only child to my dad and mom. But yeah,
Mm.
he remarried
When did? How old was you when that happened?
when what? They remarried?
Yeah, and just kind of walk me through that because I went through the same occurrence. My father divorced my mother. I was very young, um, and then ultimately ended up remarrying a woman that had children as well. So it was kind of like a plug and play family.
Yeah. I was probably 3, 4, I think, when he remarried her. And we moved in. They had a small apartment. That's why we had to move too. Wasn't big enough for 6 people.
Um,
Yeah. But I got along. We knew each other for a while, like, because we lived like one apartment and we lived in the building next door. So I would see him all the time. It's like we knew each other. I guess that's how they met. So we got along all right for a while.
oh, it sounds like tension built.
Well, yeah, not until yeah, my dad was kind of I don't know. He was being a military guy. He was kind of like strict and abusive sometimes. He would be more protective of me being like I'm his son and the other ones aren't his kids.
hmm What were the other kids?
Um, she had 2 boys and a girl. The girl is the same age as me. She's like a few months older, and one son was 3 years older, and the other one was 4 years older than me. So they were probably
Mm.
like 7 and 6, I think, when we moved in.
So you went from being the only child to being the
The
youngest of 5 children?
4,
4?
yeah, pretty much, yeah. And I had to so we were first in the apartment. It was just like the bedroom for my dad and stepmom, and then the two boys share. And I had to share a room with the girl, which was kind of weird. But I mean, you're a kid. You don't really know. You're a baby. You don't think of that when you're young. Only 3, 4. We were young.
Did you ever? Because I used to, I mean, honestly, when I was younger, I used to have fantasies of my stepsisters, you know?
As you get older, it's like, okay, there you guys are getting older. You need separate rooms and stuff like that. We couldn't. That's another reason why we moved. Get out of the window.
Yeah, I was probably about 7 or 8 then. So, yeah, I think I was really kind of starting to notice, different things about myself and whatnot. And of course, these girls they were beautiful young girls. And it was really my first introduction to that type of environment, I guess. So,
yeah,
but it was weird. It was just the whole situation for me was weird. I just remember being a kid and just always embarrassed about certain situations and things of that nature,
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it was kind of like that with me for a while. Because she would have her friends come over and I'm like, I need to get in here too. No, well, I need to get in here. That was some of the.
So your father being strict as a military man, I mean, can you describe like some of his personality?
Like, what do you mean? It's how he walked around.
Well, first let me ask this: Did your father ever do any wartime?
No, he was in the Coast Guard in I want to say probably the late '60s, early '70s. He was mainly stationed here in the states down in Florida and New Jersey, the lighthouses and stuff like that.
I see. So he's never done military. He just went straight into the Coast Guard.
Yeah, well, that's military, sort of.
Okay. It is a branch, and I don't mean that it's not, but I guess what I'm trying to find out is if he's ever had any like battle experience or any reason to have or severe from PTSD.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think he ever went to Vietnam or whatever. That's what you're asking. That would have been around his time, but no, I don't think he did. He was mainly just stationed down around the coast along the East Coast, up and down the East Coast. He was stationed mainly in lighthouses and just watching the coast, doing rescues and stuff like that.
So I guess what my question is then is for you to just explain some of his militants, because you had mentioned earlier that he was a militant figure because of his experience with the Coast Guard.
Yeah, well, it was just you had to be in at a certain time. He made us all get crew cuts. All the boys get crew cuts, and you would have to be like, yes sir, no sir. You couldn't back talk. You had to eat. He would sometimes, if you swore, he would shove soap down your mouth or smack you. Or if you're sitting at the table and eating dinner, you put your elbows on the table, you whack them off, and that's not how you sit up straight. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
I got it. Constant control.
A constant what?
Constant control.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yep.
So how did that make you feel growing up?
It was kind of. He didn't like it. After a while, it's like, okay, if he just did what he wanted, he just wouldn't bother you. But yeah. My stepbrothers, they were more defiant towards him. So that's when he would get he would hit them more, and he would reprimand me because they're like, you're not my father. I don't have to listen to you. And I was the same way with my stepmother. I'm like, you're not my mother. I don't have to listen to what you say. I would be the same way with her. She's like, do this. I'm like, no, you fucking do it. Can I swear on here? Sorry.
No, yeah, man. This is an adult forum, so this is all just about expression, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's, you grow, you're like, okay, I think most kids are like that when they have step parents or whatever. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my father. You're not my mother. Or I don't have to listen to you. And that would like piss him off. It would piss her off. And that's, sometimes he was like, she's religious too. So if you didn't get up, go to church on time, he would like kick you out of bed. He would drag you there and force. I didn't like that, being forced to go. I didn't want to do that, but I was forced to go do it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was one of his big things. Big religious guy. So
So now you're moving into your teens, you're in high school and such. And how's all that looking?
it's yeah, school was all right for a while. I played some sports. So I got into sports, wrestling, football, which was good, and then I came down with this neurological thing, which almost killed me, which kind of like set me back. Which, you ever heard of Guillain-Barré syndrome? It's kind of like can kill you.
No, say it
It's
again.
called Guillain-Barré. It's like it shuts down your whole neurological system. I think I'm 15 at the time, and I'm just walking down the halls of school. I just collapsed. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, nothing. I was hospitalized on a ventilator. It almost killed me. So that was like,
Get the fuck out of here. No, I've never heard of that.
yeah, it's crazy. Like,
So what causes that?
they're not sure. I think it came from a flu shot or something that I got. So now, like, I can never get a flu shot the rest of my life or any vaccination or anything because they don't know what's in it. That could end up killing me. But yeah, that screwed me up for like 2 years. I couldn't do anything. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to build all my muscle up again. I couldn't do anything. I had plans playing college football. Yeah, as a kid, yeah, I want to play in the NFL. Yeah, that didn't happen because I could never. Even once I got back, I was like, because I missed school for like 2 years, I couldn't go to school. By the time I got back, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna. I can't do this anymore. Take too much out of me. So that kind of like made me depressed doing that. I see all my friends are doing this, moving on, dating or whatever, playing sports, going out, and I can't do anything. I'm like an invalid, barely move.
Dude, that is nuts, man. I've never heard of that. And you know what? I've always been a person that I've always felt that like anything else, medicine is way overused
Mm-hmm.
and it's way over trusted.
There's really
You
no
know,
like cure for it.
and
There's no they had to put me on steroids. I had to get like injected with steroids, pills, steroids, and that kind of screwed me. I was like, it gives you a lot of acne. It makes you fat. I blew up to like over 300 pounds from it. It's crazy.
Jesus Christ, man, all because of a flu vaccination.
Yeah, that's where they think it came from because it doesn't just like appear out of nowhere. That's what they think it was from. So now, so yep. Well, now that COVID
So
back.
this is a monumental, like, dude, this is a monumental shift in your life right
Oh, I
now.
know. So you figure from 89 this happened, 89 to like probably 90. It was 91. I was still recovering from this. So I find that just made me like drop out of school after that. I finally went back to high school for a few years. And it's like, man, I can't do this anymore. I was just weak. I couldn't. It's just like, so I just ended up dropping out of school.
Dang, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Listen, for some reason, I'm getting a lot of feedback. What are you talking on right now?
Just my phone.
Are you on
Yeah.
speaker? Okay, I'm gonna disconnect from here, And I'm gonna send you a new link and just reconnect and see if that fixes the problem.
I can hear you all right.
Yeah, but just on my end, when I'm speaking, it's hard because there's a lot of feedback coming to
Okay.
me. So it's like when I'm talking, I'm hearing myself, and it's very hard for me to concentrate. So I'm just gonna reconnect with you, and then hopefully that'll fix the issue.
All right.
All right, I'll send you.
All right. How's that?
Oh, that's much better.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. That happens from time to time, and it's just best if I just disconnect and reconnect versus going on, because this is such an important topic, and you're saying so many important things that I want to make sure that it's clear.
Is this live or what? No.
No, it's not live. I pre-record my shows, and then just so, because there's so many sensitive things that are said, somebody may reach back and say, I really feel uncomfortable about airing this or that, and I can go back and edit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm away because okay, so you have this 15 years old, already trying to establish his own personality, and then out of the blue, it happens to you, this flu vaccination. At least that's what we're thinking.
Yeah, that's what they think. They're not really. That's what they're assuming.
And your whole life just shifts. Now, I mean, how does that affect like your friendships with people? Well, you say that it ended up causing you to drop out.
Well, yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't hang out. I couldn't go out with my friends. I couldn't hang out with anybody. People would. There wasn't cell phones back then, so you had to. You couldn't just text somebody, but hey, come on over. Just, you have to reach out to them. People would come over once in a while, but eventually it was like, you can't do anything. I'm just gonna move on. So it was like I'm pretty much stuck at home doing nothing, trying to rehabilitate. I had to go to rehabilitation like 5 days a week or something to learn how to, I had to learn how to walk, all my motor skills. It was a week. I couldn't even like pick up a coffee cup. I couldn't pick up a book. Nothing. That's how weak I was. And then I was in. But
Go ahead.
no, I was saying when it first happened, like I say, I was on the ventilator. I was in the hospital for like a month. I was on that for a week, the ventilator, because it shuts down like everything. Your lungs, you can't breathe on your own. You can't do anything. Like, so once that came out, then I was still in the hospital for like a month after that. And they started to like slowly get you. That was like, come on, I want to get out of here. But nope, you can't leave.
That's a powerful story, especially in the time when you're going to have the world taking vaccines, experimental vaccines at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to have that.
So how are you now? Do you have any effects from that now?
Not really. There's still like it's still like numbness. There's in my feet. Sometimes you get it, but it could come back at any time. And like now that I'm older, if it comes back, it could be even worse. But right now, it's been under control for a while. It's been like in remission for a while now. But it's still, like I said, there's lingering effects there sometimes in the feet still.
What about mentally? How have you accepted it, or does it still affect you?
It doesn't really affect me because I know it's there somewhere. So I just have to be careful when I go to the doctor. I have to let them know. Listen, every time I go, yeah, I've had this, so don't give me this certain shot. Don't give me this. Like if I have to go in for a surgery or whatever like that, I have to let them know. And they're like, okay.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, partner, man.
Yeah, thank you. There's not really much, like if you look it up, it doesn't really talk much about it. It just tells like who the two guys were that found it, two French guys or something, and tells what it is. But It's like,
Mm. So moving forward, like when did shit start going bad, or you started noticing shit going bad, or to start leading up into how you got incarcerated?
well, this is, I don't know, we were like 17, 18, and my stepbrother, the oldest one, the one that died, he got into a accident at work and he like busted his head, and so instead of the pain pills weren't much, so he started getting hooked on heroin and other stuff. It was stealing from the house, and that was like pissing my dad off and pissing me off. He would break into my room. He wasn't supposed to, and shit was just building. My dad moved out. I was like 16, 17. I was still going through this, and he moved out with another woman, so he wasn't there, and I'm stuck with my stepmother and the three kids, and they're like taking all this out on me the way my dad is now that he's not there to do anything about it. So I'd have to like try to defend myself against them. My stepmother was becoming violent to me. She was being abusive, and that's how it started building up. I tried to move out. I went down to live with my mother for a while, but she didn't want me there. She had another son, and she's like, "No, you can't." And I'm stuck going back there with her, with my stepmother, because I have nowhere else to go. And no one else wanted to. I couldn't go live with like an aunt or they have their own kids. They're going through their own stuff. So I'm stuck here in this, and it wasn't a good place to be for me. That was another reason why it made me not want to be in school anymore, because I couldn't concentrate. And it was just horrible. But so yeah, the stealing is what like built up to going on with my stepbrother and leading to his
Mm.
death.
Were you working or I mean, so were you ever? Can you hear me?
No, not really. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There we go.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, I apologize, man.
No, that's fine. I understand. Technical stuff happens. I hate it.
Yeah. So, man, there was no other option. Like you couldn't find your own place or no friends or no nothing.
Nope. I tried, for a little while. I tried moving, like, hey, stay at a place here, there, but people like, no, you can't stay here all the time. You gotta go. You're being a burden.
Mm.
So
So your stepbrother's name, what was his name?
his name was Robert.
Robert. Okay, so Robert is he's on addiction, he's stealing, you're catching the rap for it. There's high tension in the house, people mad, beating on each other. So what happens?
Well, it was, that's why I tried to get away, but he got, and his mother was going through like, she was in and out of mental institutions because she was like having nervous breakdowns, so she wasn't around all the time. So, and my other stepbrother, he went into the army at like 19, I think, so he wasn't around. The stepsister moved out. She got pregnant. She moved in with this guy. She moved out. So it's mainly now it's just me and my stepbrother in the house here.
You and Rob.
Yeah. And my dad comes around every now and then just to check, give some money for groceries or whatever. That's it. I tried to go live with him down in Connecticut. He had a small apartment, so he's like, no, his girlfriend didn't want me there it was too small. So it was like, so okay, we're back here.
So hold on. So your father is living with a girlfriend and your mother is living with another boyfriend or another son, and
My
you're
mother,
still
she's down in Connecticut. She's lived in Connecticut her whole life, pretty much. So
and you're staying with
I'm
the
just in the house.
ex-wife of your father.
Huh?
You're staying with the ex-wife of your father, or soon to be, or however that's going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I don't know if they were divorced yet or they were going through it, but yeah. So it's just my stepmother.
Estranged. They were estranged.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. It was with my stepmother and Robert were there. It was like just us three in the house.
My goodness, man, I can't even imagine a situation like that because, of course, you're going to be the enemy every time.
Pretty much. It's like, oh, every time they see me, they blame it on, if they see my dad and the crap that he would do, do I blame him for everything that's going on? So he's not there, so they blame it on me. So I'm about 18 at this time or so. Yeah, I'm like 18. I'm trying to work, get my first job.
How are you physically at this time? Are you now? Do you have all your strength back? Or are you still dealing with that as well?
Out and work, and so I finally get a job. And I like to cook, so that's what I've been. That's was my first job. That's what I do most of the time is cook.
Yeah, you still cook now.
Yeah, I'm cooking now. I'm working. Kind of
What's
slow.
your
Huh?
what's your best dish?
Oh, I don't know. It all depends. I like to cook meat. A nice
Uh,
steak on the grill.
yeah,
Yeah. But some shrimp scampi is good too now and then, or chicken piccata is good. Give me a nice thick steak and I'll be happy.
yeah. I'm the same way. I don't. I really don't have a sophisticated palate. A good steak and potato, and I'm all right. But I try not to eat that heavy red meat so much.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that should kill you.
it's good for you when you're working out.
Oh, that's true. So you guys, so you're under all of this pressure, this tension, man. That's crazy. I can't even imagine that, man.
Yeah, so I say the stepmother, she's trying to go through this crazy stuff, and she's like it's drinking wine during the day, drinking cough syrup to get drunk. So she's in and out of the mental hospital. She's having nervous breakdowns. So
Did
yeah,
they have love for you? I mean, did you ever feel love from them?
sometimes when I was younger, yeah, but I think after a while it started to fade away. But because they see me, they see my stepdad, and they hate him. But I mean, I got along with the rest of her my aunt, my stepmother's sister. I got along great with her. I'm still in contact with her all the time, and even the whole time I was incarcerated, she was in contact with me. They they forgive me for what happened, which is good, and I still I talk to my stepsister now like once a week. We're in contact. Go away.
So, the only article that I could find was the one, I guess you probably know is the one where they found your stepbrother, I guess, floating in was it a retention pond or a river or
It was the Connecticut River, yeah.
the Connecticut River? How, you want to share with me how that occurred or the events of what led into that or any of that?
I could, I can share with you what happened. You're like fading out again. I can barely hear you. I gotta hold the phone up closer to my ear. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was. So like I say, nobody was living at this house at the place. It was just me. Actually, I wasn't even living there at the time. I moved out to my own place started working, so I got my own place. I'm still like moving in and out, and the house is up for sale. He's supposed to be living there. So after work one day, I call my dad. I was like, hey, can you come home? I got to move some stuff. Can we go to the house? He's like, yeah, all right, I'll pick you up from work. So he picks me up. We go up to the house, and we go in. There's nobody there at the time. It's like, okay, we're going in. We're looking around, and I guess Robert comes back, and I'm out in the basement trying to move some stuff around, and I go up to my room, and I hear some arguing. I don't hear, and all of a sudden I hear like crash, bang. There's a fight between my dad and Bob, and I run down to see what's going on, and they're fighting, and then he's not moving. Robert is not moving. I don't know what happened. My dad's like, I don't know. I think he hit his head, or well, I don't know what's going on. So he's like, we have to do something about it. I was like, well, let's call somebody. He's like, who can we call? You can't just leave him here. He's like, well, we have to get rid of him. I don't want to get blamed for this. I don't want to. So he decides to go get some stuff and tie him up. And he's like, I know a place. So he ties him up, drag him out to the truck. I'm like, I'm scared of my dad right now because I don't know what he's going to do to me if I don't help him. So it's like, okay, let me just go along with this because he might snap on me, even though I'm his son. I don't know what's going on in his head right now. So so we take him out to the truck. He drives to this place in Connecticut, which I don't even know where to this day. I probably couldn't find it, but he's like, all right, here's a good spot. We'll tied a cinder block to him, and he tossed him over the edge of this thing into the water, and that was that. We went back. He brought me back to my place, and he went home. And a few days later,
So, no, go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
I was saying then I guess a few days later, I guess a fisherman or something found him. What I heard.
Yeah, that's what the article had said. It was a real remote place, but I guess it was a good fishing spot, and somebody down there had spotted a person floating. So, in that moment, because I know that you were in fear of your father, I can't even imagine, how you explained and opened up just your childhood and everything that was going on in it, in that moment, and now you're handling what used to be your step brother,
Mm-hmm.
and so was your father was he sane in that moment? Was he like calm and cool? Of course panic is there, but was he himself?
To me, he seemed like it was nothing to him. It didn't phase him one bit.
He was in control.
Yeah,
Always in control.
yeah, yeah. Cause he like dropped me off, and he's like, just keep this quiet. Nothing ever happened. I'm like, okay.
And what is going through your mind?
I'm like, what the hell just happened? I'm like, why did I do this? We shouldn't have. That shouldn't have happened. I'm not even sure why it happened. I understand they didn't get along. They hated each other for a long time. They didn't like each other because of his stealing and drug use, and they've been in fights before. But I'm like, this. I didn't think it would end up like that. I'm like, I'm thinking this like this didn't really happen. This couldn't have happened. I gotta be dreaming, but it happened. I'm like, I'm still like after. I couldn't sleep the rest of the night. I'm like, this is not real. And I wanted to tell somebody. I'm like, I should have done something. I should have called the police or whatever and reported it. And this is what happened. But I'm still like in shock over it. Crazy.
Yeah. And again, these, and first, thank you, Steve, for sharing that, because this is a situation that, again, I'm always emphasizing on my show about how we can get into situations, right? And because we're being led by our emotions,
Mm-hmm.
like our emotions are just flying wild, and there's no control over these emotions, and it just, things spiral out of control.
Exactly. Anything could happen in a moment. It could. Me and Robert, we got into a couple fights before him stealing. It could have happened to me. I could have ended up killing him at one of these points. Anything could have happened. Knock on wood that it didn't. But anything could
I feel
happen to anyone on any day. You never know.
I feel bad. I feel bad for Bob too, because Bob just
He needed
he
help.
had an
He
issue.
needed help with his addiction. No, and it was really like he didn't know what to do. No one would help him. There was nothing out there for him. So he needed to support his habit. I didn't want to see the guy. I didn't want to see him dead. I wanted to see him get help, but he obviously didn't want any, or he didn't know where to look. Because this is like the early '90s. What was out there, that's new to me. I wouldn't even know where to look. I would start, but I guess he tried for a while and it didn't work. Go away. Sorry.
Yeah. So the fisherman finds, the body. The article comes out. What happens?
They come. Well, before I don't know. I forget what day the guy found him. But before that, I went to work like a couple of days later, and it was still bothering me. So I finally told somebody what happened. I said, "Listen, there was a fight, and somebody ended up dead." And then the cops came to my work interviewing me, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is what happened." They're like, "Oh, no, you sure?" So they let me go. We'll look into it. I'm like, "But this is, do you know where?" And I couldn't. I'm like, "No." How? Hey, go away.
So
Excuse me.
yeah.
Your dog wants to play. All right.
What kind of dog?
It's a shepherd husky.
Oh,
She's
okay.
only 10 months. She wants to.
Frisky as
Yeah,
hell.
exactly. She wants to play. It's like she wants no biting. Stop it. Yeah. So after that, so they let me go back. They let me go. This was April 1st. They think, oh, you're only joking. Nothing happened. I'm like, okay.
This is what the cops are
Yeah.
telling you? What do you mean that they think that you're joking,
They're like,
nothing
because
happened?
nothing was reported. Nobody, nobody reported this guy missing or anything. Bob missing. I'm like, yeah, because there's nobody around. Nobody would miss him.
Okay.
Yeah. So they let me go, and they didn't come. Then it was like April. Was it? Let's see. The first was Saturday. Yeah, it was April 4th that they finally came and arrested me. I'm at my grandfather's house. I think they found the body by then.
Mm-hmm.
And they came. They come. I'm at my grandfather's place. We're working at the house, and this weird car pulls up, and that's when the two detectives come. You need to come with us. We need to talk to you. So they bring me down to the police station. There's like four of them there. There's like two from Connecticut and the two from Springfield. And that's when I just like broke down. I'm like, yeah, this is what happened. I did it. It was an accident. I should have covered it up. And like, yeah, you're gonna get the chair for this. You're gonna do like
Mm.
so. And then
That's what they do.
yeah, they didn't know. I didn't know anything about. Oh, you can have a lawyer present. I didn't know any of that, all that stuff. I'm only just 21 at the time, and I'm freaking out. I don't know nothing. I never been in trouble before. So that was the start of it. April 4th, 1995, which was actually his birthday.
Did they read you your Miranda rights and inform you at all of what rights that you had?
I don't probably I don't remember because when they first brought me in, it was like, "Oh, you're not under arrest. We just want to talk to you." So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't read any rights or anything like that. I don't think it was until I was actually they interviewed me and all this time and everything like so I don't think they had to like read them at that time until you're actually under arrest. Like we're just questioning you, we want to ask you some questions. I'm like,
Right.
okay. When I'm just finally, I just took the rap. I'm like, yeah, I, I shouldn't have at the time. I was like, okay, yeah, this is what happened. We got into a fight and I panicked. I covered it up. I called my dad to come help me get rid of the body. And you're like, well, why you shouldn't have did that? You shouldn't have done that. Why did you leave him go for that long? I'm like, I panicked. I didn't know what to do. So it was just
Why, Steve? Why did you cover it up?
to this day I don't. It's my dad. I love my dad to death. I don't know why. Even I get asked that all the time. Why I took the rap for it. Maybe because I was still scared. Like if I didn't, he would come after me. So
Has your father ever showed appreciation for what you've done for him?
like saying thank you or anything. Hey,
Just any kind of appreciation at all?
he still denies that he did anything wrong. But he supports me all anytime I need anything from him. So I think that's his way of because the whole time I was locked up, he would send me money if I needed it or but
Well, this is why I was asking, because I mean, people find ways to show their appreciation, in some form or fashion.
well, yeah, I
So
think that was his way was by like, you need anything, just let me know. That's his way of showing appreciation for him not going to jail for the rest of his life. He ended up getting some time, like stupid county time for some old disposing of a dead body law or something.
no.
Well,
So did you end up pleading out, or did you go to
no,
trial?
I pled guilty because the lawyer I had, I don't. She was like, I don't think, I didn't know anything about the law. This lady was like, oh,
You're cutting out on me, Steve. Steve. Hey, Steve.
yeah,
Steve, can you
I
hear me?
don't know what the hell happened. I bumped something on the phone. It was like my voicemail popped up. All right, yeah.
It's
So
okay. The last thing I heard was about
the
her,
lawyer, yeah, she was like kind of
about your
some
yeah.
woman lawyer. I think she was out of Boston or something at the time. I don't know how she was working in Springfield, but I'm like, I don't even. So we ended up. She's like, you need to take the plea deal because I don't. I said we can't go to trial. She's, oh, if we go to trial, we might end up never getting out of jail again. I said, well, I'm talking as this took like 2.5 years before we actually did this. So in that time, I'm talking to like, oh, that could be a manslaughter case. It was an accident. As I'm trying to ask her this, she's like, well, no, I don't think it is because you tried to cover it up. That's why they want to hit you with the first or the second. I'm like, well, it wasn't premeditated. It was just an accident. It happened. It was a fight. It wasn't like I went there and planned on it, doing it. He wasn't even there when I went to the house. She's like, well, I don't know. With the history between you two and all that, it won't look good for you. So I'm like, so I just said, okay, I'll plead out and hopefully a chance to get out.
At any time, did anybody ever ask you if you were guilty of this? I mean, like seriously, did anybody ever, kind of doubt your story or anything?
Oh yeah, my family, his family, and like my family, to this day they know my dad. My dad did it, but he won't confess to it.
Well, I'm speaking
Oh
judicially, going through the system as far as, investigators or detectives, these people that are supposed to be doing the job.
no, they just happy that they got somebody for it. They could close their case is what I'm thinking.
It would just open and shut and just rush them through. They had a plea deal. There was nothing else to
Exactly.
discuss.
Yep.
That's the problem we have today, and here, because of that, right? I'm willing to bet, Steve, I'm willing to bet that if an investigator or a detective really, really cared about finding the truth versus just handling a case and came to you and said, listen, Steve, I see what kind of person your father is. You're a young man, I can see your father is very, very controlling over you. Is there any reason why you would be covering up for your father? Just that question alone, I would be able to look in your eyes and know that you were covering up for your father.
Well, even at the time, like my roommate I was living with at the time, when it's all happened, he came forward and he was like, I don't think Steve did this because his father came to me. Like his father came to me and asked me if I knew anybody that could take somebody out or get rid of somebody. And they told him, and they didn't even pursue that. So he must have been thinking about this for a while. I know he didn't like Robert. He hated him so even with that, it was like they didn't do anything. They didn't follow through with it. They're thinking maybe, oh, he's just saying this to protect me or
something. Yeah. So what did you end up pleading out to?
A second
degree.
Yeah.
And that was because you disposed of the body and tried to cover up and didn't report.
Right. After, and then now a few years later, they would have said, if you would have just, at the time, if you would have probably called somebody and told them what happened, it would have been like an involuntary accident. You probably wouldn't have even done any time for it. Neither one of you. It would have just been an accident. Fights happen, it would have.
Again, it's like, it's like they say, man, the truth will always prevail. Sometimes the truth is a hard pill to swallow, and we may not like the consequences that the truth will bring.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm finding out in my life, like, it's just always easier just to be honest and to be truthful.
Yep.
So how much time did you plea out to?
To a 15 to life.
15 to life.
Yeah, which made me eligible for parole after 15, which go away. Stupid dog. Sorry.
So how does that work in the system up there? So if I plead to 15 to life, does that mean that
you got to do the whole 15 before you can see the parole board?
But I'm technically pleading out to a life sentence.
Okay. Eligible after. Got it. So at 15, they could either give it to you or set you back like 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 1 year. They can just keep setting you back, or they can let you out.
Got it. So now when you're out on parole, you're out on parole now?
I'm on parole now, yeah.
And you'll be on parole for the rest of your life?
Yes.
How does that work?
What do you mean? How does just on parole? The parole officer like comes by the house once a month or whatever, check, see how you're doing. Just have to, you got to stay out of trouble.
So you're going to be on parole for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. There have been cases like people have been out like and they can get the parole dropped, but it's rare that it happens. You got to be out for a long time and out of trouble.
So when you're 75 years old and you've already been through 4 different
parole office
POs, and now you got some young punk that wants to come in and don't like you for whatever reason, he can send you back to prison.
For any little thing. I've seen it happen when I was back. Guy came back. He was like, yeah, I've been out. How long were you out? He goes, 25 years. I said, well, what happened? He goes, I was at my daughter's wedding. I had a glass of wine, and the parole officer happened to come by, and he smelled the booze, or he gave me a breathalyzer, and he violated me. He's like, this freaking kid wasn't even born when I was in jail. I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, it can happen.
So your whole life, you say you were 47?
I'm 47 right now, yeah.
So your whole life up to this point, and then the rest of your life moving forward is going to be under some sort of control from a master, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yep. They're not bad. I mean, the one I have now, he's like laid back. He comes by. He doesn't even come in the house, the apartment. He just comes by, he calls, like, how you doing? You all right? Yeah, you still working? Okay, yeah, talk to you next month. And they don't bust your balls. They're like, listen, you don't give me a problem, I won't give you a problem. But it's just, they're there.
But it's always,
if you do anything.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because I'm on one of these.
You always know that no matter, every time that you leave your house, you're confined in some sense, you're censored in some sense, you're not able to be 100% Steve.
Yeah, pretty well. I'm on an ankle monitor right now, probably for like another. I've been on it for almost 2 years now. But that should be. So that's another control thing too.
Walk me through that.
The ankle bracelet?
Yeah, like just your day. Just take me through a day of wearing this big bulky black thing on your leg.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass because you have to charge the things, which is like I have to charge it at night. It could die out on me. So if it dies out, I keep getting called, or if it starts to get low, the monitoring system keeps calling me. Oh, your battery's dying. Your battery's dying. Well, I'm at work. I'm sorry. Well, you need to charge it. Well, I'm at work. I mean, it's kind of like, especially now, the winter, I can cover it up. People don't really see it. But the summer is kind of like embarrassing. You try to go to the beach or you go somewhere, have this, you got this big black box on your ankle. People, they look at you. They're looking at you, but it's like I don't really pay it any mind, but it is a pain in the ass. But it's, anywhere I go, anything I do, these people know where I'm at. So, but as long as I keep the thing charged, I try to charge it at night. When I come home, I'll charge it before I go to work so it doesn't die out. But they don't really, it's just that's, anywhere you're not supposed to be, they know where you are. But that's, it's not really, I mean, it sucks, but after a while, you just forget it's there. I try not to even think about it.
Well, this is what I want to get into now is how are you dealing with all of this? How is your life at this point? Do you have regrets?
Oh, I regret that this happened. That Robert died. This is not. I was out on. This is my 4th time out on parole. I was violated a couple times for stupid shit when I first got out. Because I was out. I got out the first time after like 15 and a half, and then It was stupid. I forget what it was. I wasn't paying the rent at this dump I was in, so they violated me for that. I went back for 3 years. I got out. Same thing happened again because I had nowhere to go. I had no family around. I had nowhere to go, so I had to go to these like halfway houses for slums I didn't want to be in. And so I just left, which was stupid. So they're like, all right, you can't stay here. We'll send you back to jail. And each time they've let me out. Now this last time they're like, all right, you're gonna keep screwing up. We're putting you on an ankle bracelet for a while. Make sure you don't run away. Because they had to come look for me. The last time I took off, they had to come looking for me.
Well, you did. Did you get parole your first
Yeah,
stretch? So you did 15
yeah, I
years.
got parole the first time.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you were kind of rebellious coming home and just having to succumb to
Oh yeah,
again?
everything was new to me. It was like I'm out. I'm like, finally, I did it. I don't have to listen to anybody. I can do whatever the hell I want. No, you can't. You have to follow what we tell you to do. Like you can't be out at all hours of the night. You can't be just roaming around doing whatever the hell you want. I'm like, I'm like sending me to a
Mm.
sober house. I'm like, I don't drink. I've been locked up for 15 years. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. And to this day, I don't do that. So I'm like,
How was your incarceration?
how was it? It was off. And
How,
I made use of it. I didn't just sit around and do anything. I got my college degree, I got my master's in English, I got my welder's license. I made do with what was there, but it sucked sometimes. You get asshole guards there that all they want to do is just bust your balls, but you get into fights every now and then. There's people who want to run their mouth or they want to think they're tougher than you. But if you just stick to doing what you're doing, do your own thing. I had a few friends here that were from my area that were happened to come in around the same time as me for almost the same thing. Second or so, we did pretty much 15 years together. There's a couple like to this day. There's a guy I know I've known. I go see him all the time. Go see him and his daughter, and so we get along pretty good. Being in there, it has its good days, it has its bad days. I'm like when the place is on lockdown and you're stuck in a small cell with another person, that kind of sucks. Or you wake up one day and your roommate happens to be in a bad mood, or you're in a bad mood. Things just don't go the way you want them to go. But
do you think that people would try you inside just because you were in there for the charge of murder?
when you first come in, everybody wants to see if you're tough or see what you can do. But they don't
Right.
really, they don't really, they look at you like, all right, this guy keeps to himself, he's alone, and we'll just leave him alone. But so that was about it. I only talked to her. I hung around with like 5 people in there. That was about it. I mean, if you stick to people that you know and you don't get into trouble, nobody bothers you. You got the little gangs in there that they just rival with their own other gangs. Yeah, like the little cliques that hang out together.
Yeah.
It's weirdo like want to recruit you into like the skinheads and all this. I don't have nothing to do with that. No, thank you. Go away. I'm all set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you got your master's while you
yeah,
were in prison?
yeah,
That's amazing, man. Well,
yeah.
congratulations on
Thanks.
that. How did you accomplish that?
Oh, I just went to class every day and it was like a four. Well, it was 4.5 years to get the bachelor. And it was like another year and a half to get the master's in English. Which is, I mean, you have nothing else to do. Might, might as
That's
well
the
just
truth,
hit the
man.
books.
So what is your
It's in
degree in?
English literature. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Are you putting that to
I
use
know
today?
I can't be a teacher because of my because of my crime. I can never go in and teach. But
Why not? That don't
I
even make
guess because I
sense.
don't know, if you're a felon, you can't be a teacher. I'd probably have to go more schooling for that to get a teacher's degree too. I don't feel like doing that. I'm too old for that. But I did put my welder's license when
Yeah,
I
but
first
you
got
can
out. I
start.
had the welder's license. That's which is still good. So I was welding for a while. I could still do that if I wanted to.
But why don't you start your own online English course or teaching or YouTube channel or whatever?
I don't know how to do all that. I hate technology. I wouldn't have the
Mm.
patience for it anyway. To teach somebody about that.
Well, I promise you, there's a way for you to capitalize on your master's degree without being a felon, being a roadblock. I
There
promise you.
probably is. I haven't looked into
You put a lot of
it. I
work into
did,
that,
yeah.
man.
To this day, I don't even know where the diploma is. I think I gave it to my mom and she lost it somewhere. Just like, really? How the hell did you lose it? So,
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that you don't have, it seems, a lot of pride in that?
why don't I have any I mean, I don't. I mean, I do that I accomplished it, that I got it done, but it's like it's useless now. I can't use it for anything. I tell people, they're like, "Oh, that's good." It's not. It doesn't help me going looking for a job and working in a kitchen or doing construction or whatever. That's like, okay, man, okay, big deal. That doesn't relate to this job. Uh, that's good that you did it. I
Mhm.
mean, it shows I have education and I'm educated. But
Well, that's all a degree is. All a degree is a piece of paper that just shows people that you have the ability to learn at a higher pace,
right.
at a higher level. But so what made you take the English class? Was that all that was available?
No, they had the English was it was there. Yeah, they had that, or you could have. They had a couple other ones that weren't. I think you could have just done the liberal arts one, but I just went for the English one, which was I don't know. It was interesting to me, some of the stories and stuff.
It was more of just time filler, just pass the
Yeah, I
days,
like to
right?
read. I used to read a lot. I would try to write my own stories. I wrote a couple short stories, so I figured it. Yeah,
Oh yeah, do you have anything
no,
published?
yeah, I don't even know where they are right now.
Mm.
I probably lost them
Jesus, Steve.
somewhere around.
But these are the things. You have
No,
kids? Oh well,
what
scratch what
was
I was getting
that?
ready to say. Why don't you have kids,
Never,
man?
nah, no kids for me yet. I don't think I want any. Right? I don't think I want any. Why do you want to bring kids into this world? It's kind of
Mm.
a bad time to bring kids into the world. But that's kind of funny you mentioned about kids. So I'm locked up. This is like 8 years into my thing, and I get a call. Hey, you need to give a DNA test. I'm like, for what? Like this girl is claiming that you're the kid's father. I'm like, huh? I'm like, well, how old is the kid? They're like, oh, the kid's 5. I'm like, that doesn't add up. They're like, it doesn't add up. I've been locked up 8 years. There's no way the kid can be mine. They're like, it doesn't even look like me. I'm like, this chick is out of control. I mean, I knew her from years ago. I'm like, that's not my kid. Like, well, you still have to give it. I'm like, no, I don't. Oh, sorry. They're like,
Mm.
oh, so I don't know whatever happened to it, but that's kind of funny that you mentioned that.
Was it a
Yeah,
girl
I
that
knew
you
her.
knew?
She was someone I worked with. Like, she comes like, but that was kind of funny. Kid didn't even look nothing like
Yeah.
me, and the age wouldn't even fit. I see if the kid was 9 or 10, then maybe yeah, but not 5 when I was locked up for 8 years.
Maybe she filed. Maybe she filed taxes some sort of way in that fashion. When a lot of guys go away, that's what happens. It happened to me. it's like your identity gets stolen because people that are close to you know that it's essentially they think that it's free money because
Yeah.
you're away, and they file taxes and they even today I still like when I get these security questions, every once in a while you'll get these security questions that goes off like your past tax returns and stuff. It's an issue for me because some of the answers I don't know or they're wrong, because my identity's been stolen. So who knows, man? So how are you living today? You living comfortably?
I'm getting by. It's tough now. Is like work is slow due to this COVID stuff going on. We're losing hours. I actually have tomorrow another job interview to go on, but I mean I'm getting by. I don't have to pay the rent, and take care of my pup. But I was engaged for a while, and then the chick went psycho. So, yeah, we were getting ready to move in together and all this, and I don't know, she just went nuts. But I'm doing all right. I do my own thing. I go to work, come home, hang out with my
That's a good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing she went nuts before she moved
before
in,
we
huh?
did find a place together and got married. Yeah.
She could have just held out just a little bit
I
longer,
don't
huh?
know. I don't know. She's just cuckoo. She's still trying to break into my. She's still breaking into my apartment. I changed the lock. She's still getting in here somehow. Yeah, she's like playing
What the?
little fuck games with me. Like,
So you just come home and realize that somebody
well,
broke into
yeah,
your
because I
apartment.
find like stupid shit missing, and she's the only one that. This was before I changed the locks. Like she would come in. I come in one day. It was like the batteries from the remote are missing. Like she has just moved around. It's like only stupid shit that she would do. Yeah. So I tell her, like, I know she don't respond to my
Oh my
text. I'm like, I
goodness.
know you are in here. She's like, and I caught her one day. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Oh, I want to see the dog. I'm like, well, the dog is not on the top shelf or in my computer. Why are you in there? There's no reason for that. Get the hell out of
Damn it,
here. Yeah,
man.
that's that's what I'm trying to
Oh
find
shit.
because she lives like right up the road from me right now. So it's like she lives like a block away, 2 blocks away. So I'm trying to find another place to live, get away from her.
She just she just comes over when she
Yeah,
needs a
yeah,
sandwich or
right.
some batteries or
Yeah,
something.
laundry money. Come on, she has a good job. She don't need, she's just messing with my head. She's trying to. I just told the PO, I said, "I'm just she's still doing this. I'm just staying away from her. That's fine. But if I catch her in here,
But see now in all seriousness, right? Something like this is dangerous, and because luckily she's just breaking into your shit. She could be calling your PO and telling your PO that you're hitting her.
right?
Things
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
now that's a good thing that I have this thing on because if she's like, "Oh, he was up here," all they have to say is, "Well, no, he wasn't," because they know where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would never hit her. She knows that. I would never lay a hand on her like that because she.
No, but these are
Oh
but
yeah,
these are what women do, though. Women will make up lies. Well, and I'm not going to single out women. Anybody will. People. Let me just say, people do this. People will trap people up like yourself because they don't have to feel the consequences. All they know is, I don't have to
right.
deal with Steven anymore. Meanwhile, you're sent
Yeah,
off. And oh my goodness, man. Well, I love your character, Steve. I
yeah,
love how you're handling this whole fucking
yeah.
situation,
It
dog.
sucks, but you got to make do. It's gonna it can only get better. Or well, I mean, it could get worse. I could end up going back to jail, but I'm doing the right thing so it never happens again. I got too much to lose right now. I don't think. What
What
do
do
I
you have
have
to
to
lose?
lose? My freedom, for one thing, is the main thing. My freedom, what little family support I have. If I ever go back again, they'll never talk to me again. And I have my pup right here I have to take care of. Oh, you lost me?
I lost you.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, she's
Okay,
like
I hear you now. So you have
all
your
my
pup.
life right now. She's what I have in my life right now. So you also take care of her if I ever go back to jail. So it's, I don't want to go back there. I'll probably never. They even told me at the last time, like, if you ever come back in front of us, don't plan on getting out for a long time because we've given you too many chances already. So I'm just gonna do the right thing. Oh
That's a
yeah,
lot of
that's why
pressure to
I
live up under, man.
watch every little thing I do. Any little thing, just send me back. So,
You can't even
nope.
smoke a fucking joint to relax, huh?
I mean, I probably could because he doesn't come around that often. So, I mean, he was just here yesterday. He probably won't be around for another month. And he very rarely drug tests me or anything like that, which is another good COVID thing that they don't call you into the office. That's the one good thing.
Don't they have
Yeah, they
don't,
do.
don't they have medical marijuana up there now? How does that work
I don't know.
with
I
probation
never
and all?
tried, but I don't think we can get it unless it's dire emergency or something. But I don't think we can. We're not supposed to be on use any type of drugs or drink or anything. But uh,
Damn it, partner. They put all of this pressure on you
yeah,
and then they
right.
give you no way to alleviate it.
Yeah. I mean, if I wanted to drink, I probably could. It wouldn't because he's like I say, he's never around. He doesn't do. I mean, you just have to do it the right way. I'm sure people do it. It's not like I haven't had a couple drinks since I've been out. Of course, I have. Hanging out, I'm at my buddy's house or whatever,
Yeah.
watching the game, or we're just, I've had a couple drinks. Just have to do it the right way. You got to know when to do it. Am I? Oh yeah,
You're a sports guy?
diehard New England sports fan. Hey, you
Go
guys
them
got
Patriots,
Brady.
huh?
How's that working out down there in Tampa?
Well, I mean, it would be okay. I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan. I always grew up watching the Cowboys, and
Yeah, they're not
I've
doing
always
too
been
good
loyal
either.
to them. But
Well,
well, they haven't been, man,
I know.
it's
I was
horrible what
just
happened
gonna
to
say,
Dak. It
once
kills me
Dak
what
went
happened.
down,
You
that
know?
was it.
Well, just as a person, because this kid has been fighting for the last 2 or 3 years for his contract, and he keeps getting put off, keeps getting put off. He's on the cusp of signing a record
Yeah,
breaking
yeah,
contract, and then this happens, you know. And he'll never be in the talks of that kind of money again unless he comes and does double of
yeah,
what he was
exactly.
performing to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got Brady. It's okay, but I mean,
Uh,
you got Breeze
you got
down
the
here.
Saints and
You
oh, you're
got the
close to
Saints.
New Orleans, aren't you? Yeah,
Well, Tampa is
yeah,
so our division is Tampa Bay. We
in
have Tampa
Atlanta.
Bay, New Orleans, we have
Yeah,
Carolina, and then we have Atlanta.
yeah. He's gonna come back
You
next
want
year.
Brady back?
Watch. He's gonna come back and retire a Patriot. Yeah, he may
You
never
think
play a
so?
game, but he'll come back and sign and retire as a Patriot. I don't think he's gonna play after this year.
I think I don't know, man. I say the same thing, but I think he's going
Yeah,
to feel like he got
he's
gypped
got a
this
good
year
team around him.
with the. He's got
Yeah,
it's
I don't
a
know.
good
He's
team. It's
just
a
getting
monster team.
frustrated why they're not winning. Something that's not working. His age is catching up to him. But
Could be, man. When we get to this age,
yeah,
each year after
he's
this year
43
matters, man.
right now. I think he's 40.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think him and Belichick had a side bet. I really do. I think him and Belichick had an under the table side bet for like $1 to see
Yeah.
who needed who the most,
Yeah.
because that was always the friction between
Yeah.
them two.
Oh, somebody broke into his mansion up here yesterday or the other day, and they broke in and started. They caught him. The guy sitting there watching TV in his house. Yeah, his mansion up here in Somerville.
In Brady's house,
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
broke into it and was watching TV on his
That's
couch, huh?
funny. They were like, "Oh," they were like joking about it, like, "Oh, you think Gronk
People
would,
are nuts.
being his friend, would have a key, wouldn't have to break in?" But I guess he didn't. The guy didn't steal anything. That was all he did. He just broke in and started watching TV. But he still got.
That's nuts. Well, down here, I don't know if he's still staying in the mansion down here, but he was. Derek Jeter rented his place to Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
So Derek Jeter's place sits right on the bay, right? It's right on the water. So the biggest dilemma that he was having is people would be just pulling up on their boats outside, right
Mm-hmm.
behind his place. There'd be
Oh,
10, 15
that's
boats
great.
just
He's got
parked
Antonio
behind
Brown living with
his
him now
mansion.
too. I think still. Right. Yeah. When
Oh
they
yeah,
signed
I
him
didn't
to
even
the
know he was
team,
living
Brady
with
was
them.
like, "Yeah, he can come and stay with me. I'll keep him in line." Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
But who knows?
All right, Steve. Well, man, this has been a great conversation, man. I appreciate you opening up the way that you did, man.
Yeah.
What a fucking story.
Sucked. It happened. But it sucked that it happened. It's over, and hopefully it'll never happen again. But at least I can move on somewhat. His family has forgiven me. Forgiven me. They know that I didn't kill him, but I should have done more to stop what happened. Which, yeah,
And I agree. And
they
I can
still, like you say, they
understand,
still like,
you
why are
know.
you covering up for your father? Still don't have an answer for that. It's just he's my dad.
Why,
Oh, they
why
like you asked
you
earlier.
broke up
Why
on
did
me?
I?
Say
Why
it
did I
again.
take the rap? Why did I cover up for him? I keep getting asked that, and all I can say is, he's my dad. They're like, well, he should have done that for you. He's the one that should have done the time, not you. But
Yeah, but Steve, none of that matters, right? None of that matters because and I've been having this discussion a lot, especially with my wife and several other people is that we, including myself, I'm one of the biggest examples is we live our lives so worried about other people's perceptions, how they feel about us. We're
mm-hmm.
constantly trying to be accepted by people, and then we get into our older age as I am now, and I realize like my whole life has been dedicated to trying to please.
Again, I lost you somehow.
Yeah, it dropped.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So yeah, we live under the perception of other people, and we get to the old age and we just realize like I haven't even done anything that I wanted to do, and I haven't even been the person that I wanted to be.
no, me either. I haven't done everything that I thought I would do growing up.
And now you're in a situation where you're hindered from doing it.
Right. Yeah. Now I'd like to travel, go see places, but that ain't gonna happen for a while.
Let me ask you this: have you ever thought about reopening your case
Uh,
to to at least just try to get the parole off you and just be a free person?
I thought about it. I've tried to well, you need more. It can't just be you saying he did it. You need more evidence corroborating it. because they're like, oh, murders never close. If there's more evidence that can prove that your dad did it and not you, then. But I think everybody pretty much knows that he did it. They just can't prove because I'm the one that said I did it. If I didn't do that, they would have pursued him more.
Yeah, but there's case law out there about taking. There's so many case law out there about what you experienced and what you went through. And I feel like, because I have an attorney friend that I interview, I'm gonna talk to her about that and make sure. But there are instances where, because you were under duress, right, and your testimony, your debrief was taken under duress, right, and there's case law that out there that protects you from that, because there are people that are in your situation that occurs, and now their lives are completely in shambles because of exactly what you went through. So there is case law out there that can protect you from that.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to probably end up happening is there's going to be repercussions on their father, but that doesn't matter. What matters at this point is that Stephen lives his life the way that Stephen wants to live his life.
Right. Yeah, he's had to live his life. He's 74 now, battling cancer. He's only got one, so he doesn't have, I don't know how much longer he's going to live.
And this needs to occur. Why he's alive? Because there is a possibility that he may be able to get some sort of immunity by coming forward and being honest.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
you have to look
into talk to him about it, but he just deflects the conversation. He never wants to talk about it. He never wants to take responsibility.
Well, hopefully this broadcast will reach a couple people. Like I say, I'm going to talk to my attorney, a friend, and start researching. Just look and see what could possibly be done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need his permission. If you have enough family members that are willing to come behind you and speak, and I think something can be done, Steve. I really do.
Yeah, I do too, but I've stopped pursuing it a while ago.
Don't do that, man. This is your life. This is your life. And you have the right to live it the way that you want to live it, like everybody else does. Now, in given circumstances, when you do something, you give up those rights to that freedom, but you haven't. The only thing that you did was, you helped dispose of a body, and that's serious enough. I'm a father of a daughter, and I would never want, number one, I would never want nobody to harm my daughter. But in the event that an accident occurred, I would want my daughter to be treated with respect and dignity,
Right.
So there's that, but you paid for that. Those dues are done.
Yeah.
And it's time, for real. So yeah, it's time that Steve has his life back and is able to put together something for the rest of your life. There's no reason why you have to live under this pressure and you're not even guilty of it. That's not right. You with me? I lost you. Steve. So that's it, man. That's it in a nutshell. Crazy, man. It's crazy to think that this man has to spend the rest of his life under constant supervision. for an egregious decision that he made at 21 years old. You know, I'm going to try to research and look into what can be done about that. If any of my listeners have any advice for Stephen or however, you can always reach out to me again on Facebook at Thomas Free Me. You can go to the Free Me Podcast site on Facebook titled Free Me Podcast. You can find me on Instagram under Free Me Podcast. Just reach out and leave a message if you have some advice. So once again, I do apologize. The conversation got cut off. We got cut off again, and by that time I was just so frustrated with the whole process, man, because it was such an important conversation. So, but we pretty much was summed up anyhow, So I'm gonna reach back out to Stephen at some point, see how he's doing. Yeah, thank you again for listening, joining. Please make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that good jazz. So until the next time, man, please just make sure you're making wise decisions and smart decisions. Please make sure that you're instilling that into your children, our children. If you have influence over children, make sure that you're the best possible person that you can be, so that children don't see the hypocrisy that is in us, So it'll get better, man, but it has to come through our kids, and it has to come through us. So until then, man, peace and love. I love y'all. Please be safe. Wear your mask. Until the next time we meet again, my friend, take care of yourself.